Alright, good night, Facebook. Now, I stop on the side of the road to just jump in real quick um, and talk about cookies. Yeah. And talk about race on the whole. Real quick. And I don't want to take too long with this, so I want to get through this as fast as possible. You know, this morning we did a show. Yesterday morning, and between yesterday morning and this morning, we did a show on Breaking Dawn where we featured a lady that was talking about Trinidad and Tobago and had some things to say, but within saying it, she used the N-word and she used the word coolie. Now, we heard what she said on Tuesday. People called in. Some people thought it was racist. Some people thought it wasn't racist. Some people thought that while they were offended, she was talking the truth. Now, she had a message behind the conversation. So this morning, as we came off the air yesterday morning and we aired that video, somebody asked us a very interesting question. Well, what led her to make that video? And we didn't know. Lo and behold, the lady contacts us. She said, listen, I have other videos, and I have the video that eventually led to me reading, to me posting the other video that you all aired, right? And we said, send them. And then she did another video as a follow-up to the one that we aired on Tuesday. I hope all are following me, right? So this morning I got a couple comments because we played what she said prior to the original, to the video that we showed on Tuesday. And we aired another video that she made saying, you know, I was watching Breaking Dawn and XYZ and I saw my video featured there on the show, Ratira, and this was the situation, right? Good. Now, because of the lady's use of the N-word and the C-word in her videos, everybody gone off on race without understanding the message of the lady talking. I had some comments in our chat, our live stream. Some comments saying, somebody, I think it was some Dogler, Red Dogs or something so, saying, you know, this show, since when this show gets so political and so this and so race and only race they're talking about. I thought the change in the show was to do with the serious issues. But I want to tell the people who took that position this morning based on what the woman was saying. If all you heard was the N-word and the C-word, then you are very far from the conversation at hand, and you lack the understanding of what are the serious issues in Trinidad and Tobago. While the lady's narrative was not maybe the best way to go about, it wasn't the best narrative, it could have been done in many different ways. Her main message was stop being divided and unite. If Trinidad and Tobago has to reach anywhere, they must put down party, forget party and study country. Forget African and Indian and study Trinidad and Tobago. In her commentary, she said, if you're African, go back Africa. If you're Indian and you feel you're from India, go back India. I guarantee you, they won't know you and they probably won't accept you because they don't see you as being African. And that is fact and reality. Any black person that leave Trinidad and want to go and play like they go in Africa, go. They won't accept you because they won't consider you as an African. Any Indian in Trinidad and Tobago, you want to go back India, go. They won't recognize you as an Indian. They see you as a tourist. They see you as somebody from Trinidad and Tobago. That's how they see you. That is the fact. That is the reality of the situation. I once did a program with George Umbala Joseph. We used to do our Sunday show on 104.7 FM. And there was a guy that used to call in, and the guy is pro-African, and he pro-African, and he African this, and he African that. And George said something to him. Umbala said, listen, you love Africa? He said, yes. You're a true African? He said, yes. He said, I will buy a ticket for you to go Africa. One way. A one-way ticket. You have to find your way back. He said, all you have to do is come down to the studio and I will present that ticket to you. I will buy the ticket and I will give it to you. The man never come. But he love Africa and he's African, but he don't want to go Africa. He don't want to go. You understand? We gave him the opportunity. George putting in place, make a call, get the ticket. The man never show up for the ticket. One way. You understand? Now, my point is this. People constantly, both black Trinidadians and East Indian Trinidadians, and I'm using the term black and Indian, right? We are for some reason afraid of that conversation. We constantly run from those types of conversations. But I want to ask all you something. To the people that think dealing with race is not a real issue in Trinidad and Tobago, you're sleeping or something. Every single thing in TNT is dependent on your race. Everything. Perception of who you are is dependent on the texture of your hair or the color of your skin. Good? How many black people you know is part of the Chinese Association? How many Chinese you know accepted in the Syrian community? I'm just saying. Well, Andre, I know your situation. But my point is this. If we continue to be afraid or we continue to be offended by that conversation of African and Indian, we will never reach anywhere. Because the only way that we could really unite is through conversation, discussion, getting a better understanding of each other. We could never understand each other properly unless we communicate with each other and we have the hard conversations. And I'll just draw an example for you. If you as a parent have a child and you try to hide cigarettes, alcohol, and sex from your child because you don't believe you should have that conversation with your child because that child is a child, forget what age the child is. We're talking across the board holistically. Your child most likely is going to try and find out that on their own. And what happens when they try to find that out on their own? They're going to end up in problems. Because they're learning as they go. It's like on the job training. They're learning as they go with no guidance. Because the communication between you and your child was never there. So your child is not going to understand what they're about to get themselves into. So if we as Indians and Africans, whatever you want to call it, living in Trinidad and Tobago, refuse to embrace that type of conversation, we are failing as a people and we fail in the next generation. Do not tell me that the next generation don't watch. Boy, you see the next generation, you see them youths and them today, they don't care who's African and who's Indian and who's this and who's that. I guarantee you somebody said that 10 years ago. And I want to guarantee you that somebody probably said that 10 years prior to that. And up to today, we're still in the same situation with Africans and Indians being divided. You know why? Because we have politicians standing on platforms and creating that division. And the reason why they create that division, and they want you to remain divided, everybody know because we've said it 1,000 times, is so that they can continue the corruption. They could continue with the corrupt ways without facing any consequences to their corrupt actions because 200,000 people going to support them. Good? And going to pick up with them and going to create a defense for them within the argument. Good? And going to say nothing is wrong with that. You know why? Because he's a black man. I don't mind he do that or she do that. Or that's an Indian. I don't mind it because the Indian do that. We talk about race and talk about comments being thrown around and tossed around on both sides of the political arena and in society. Good? We talk about that, but look at us. We no different. Because everybody want to refer to the 1%. And they figure when they say 1%, it's a nicer way of seeing Syrian, or it's a less racist way of directing something toward the Syrian community. So let's not say Syrian. Oh no, that's racist. Let's term it 1%. And when we say 1%, it's okay to bash them. It's okay to say something bad about the Syrian community because we're using the term 1%. And when we use the word 1% or the term 1%, well, we're not being racist. We're being statistical. Now that'll sound like some bullshit to all you. Just asking. That to me is smoke screen and mirrors. Good? Which brings me to Kamla Prasad's comment on the platform of the Monday Night Forum by referring to Keith Rowley, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, as an Oreo. All of a sudden on social media now, it's racist. That's a racist comment. I want to find out, how is referring to the Prime Minister as an Oreo a racist comment? How? Is it in the same way that Afro-Americans will use the term cracker towards a white person? Hey, cracker. Is it racist in that form? Should she have said a bourbon? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what a cookie, chocolate chip. I don't know. She used the term Oreo. Now, if describing the Prime Minister as an Oreo is a racist statement, and the Ministry of Communication could put out a release saying they will not condone the racist statements by the opposition leader. You see, the PNM does that on a regular basis, you know. They try to take what the East Indian Party say, and I'm terming it that way, purposely, and as soon as the East Indian Party make a comment, the PNM responds by saying racist, racial, right? And they put that inside their conversation in their response to put it into the African people head that has followed the party, who believe that PNM is the African party, and I'll come to that just now, who believe that the PNM is the African party, to mess with your head, to make you hate your East Indian brother and sister. You see, Makandal Daga tried to educate all you, and all you learn nothing. And when I say all you, he didn't try to educate black people alone. He tried to educate black people and Indian people. He tried to bring the both together. And you know what happened? He couldn't even win an election. He couldn't even win a seat. Amidst all that Makandal Daga did to bring black people to where they are in society today, they shit on him. They turn around and shit on him. And went back and vote PNM. Who under Eric Williams was the reason why they couldn't get no work in the bank. Makandal Daga take up the fight, march, take them, march down to Central Trinidad, carry them to meet the East Indian brothers and sisters, unite the country, fight for them to start to get work in institutions like that, and they turn around and shit on him. And I want you to understand that, because I make no apologies for saying what I saying tonight. So, the Ministry of Communication put out this statement terming what Kamla Prasad Bisesa said as being racist. And of course, that's going to rile up the base, right? So now everybody going to start posting, the opposition leader racist and racist and racist. How is that different to what every single person in Trinidad and Tobago that is not a PNM sycophant thinking in their head today? Put it in context in what she said. Anybody who heard it. I heard it, but I don't have the clip. I just was scanning through. I heard it, but I don't have the clip yet. What I heard it from somebody recorded off the TV now, and I want a better quality. She said, and you have to put it in context to everything that's going on in Trinidad and Tobago today. To what, you have to go back to what Mario Sabga said, how offended people were by that. And put it into the context that what's going on with Petrotrin and all the talks of the PNM trying to sell it out to the 1%. These are the talk that people talking. These are the rumors on the ground. Whether it's true or not, there is nothing that we could say, we could build an argument that that's not true. Because everything we see going on right now, all the money going to the 1%. And in that statement that she made on the platform, she said they tried to own Patrick Manning when Patrick Manning was Prime Minister. And he wouldn't have it. They tried to own me. Not me, Kamala. And she said I put them in their place. But now, they have their Oreo in Keith Rowley. Now, if there's anybody here who has never heard people say, but this man black on the outside and white on the inside, well, something wrong with me. Because that's a regular conversation that people have as it relates to where the country headed and where we are today. And there is no term or analogy I think she could have used to better describe Keith Rowley. Now, somebody's going to come with the discussion, well, as opposition leader, should she have said that? Hell yes. How many things have Keith Rowley and Fitzgerald Hines and all other members of the PNM, how many things and terms have they used to describe Kamala Persad-Bissessar when she was Prime Minister? They used far worse terms than that, more disrespectful terms than that. That is a little drop in the ocean, that is a little pat on the back, that is a little love touch. That's no hard-hitting, disrespectful comment, like they want to make it out to be. Come on, man. And you know what's the sweet part in it? When you read this statement by the Ministry of Communication, after they make the statement, they put this line at the bottom, which they use on a regular basis, especially when they want to push race now. When they want to use race to divide the two ethnicities, right? Every creed and race find an equal place. All politicians like to use that conveniently. And I'll tell you why it's conveniently. Good? If the PNM could come forward and tell me or the rest of Trinidad and Tobago how every creed and race has find an equal place in this country, I'll believe them. But I guarantee you they can't tell you that. They can't show you how everybody's treated with equality. In both son lost his phone, they find it in 48 hours. How much people lose their cell phone and get robbed their cell phone and they never get it back? The police can't find it. But they could conveniently find his own. But you want to tell me every creed and race find an equal place? Why are we divided by class in Trinidad and Tobago and in the world? That's a global thing. Everybody's divided by class. You have poor, middle, and upper. Look at who in the upper class. The smallest percentage of the country makes up the majority of the upper class, followed by the Chinese. No, the East Indians. Followed by the Indians. Nah, boy, them Indian, that's some Indian with real money. Eh? I'll put the Chinese and the Indians up there, not us up. Good. Where's the African race under the PNM? At the bottom. At the bottom. And don't come and tell me nothing about Kamla and Pandey and Robinson. You know why? That was 15 years total. PNM had 40, and PNM is also perceived to be the African party. Where or how have African people strived and gotten betterment under the PNM? Where? How? How have they treated their own equally? How? How many African contractors it have that get in the same kind of work like Junior Sammy? Or some of the big Syrian contractors? How many of them? How many of them are there? None. They fail to build their own. They fail miserably. You know what they build? You know what they build? They build gangsters. That is what they build. They build ghettos. That is what they build. They build CPEP and URP and make you feel that's ambition. You have a job. They create handouts. They fuel dependency. That's what they've done for 40 years. And anybody who wants to disagree and argue that, come meet me on Independence Square or the Brian Lara Promenade or whatever the hell you want to call it, and let me debate it and pull the facts. I'm not saying the PNM did not do anything in the 40 years. They did a lot. They developed Trinidad and Tobago, roads, lights, wherever. But when we put into context the amount of resources and the amount of money this country had, and you look at a country like Dubai, where it was just sand and desert, must be about 20 years ago, and you look at how Dubai has developed themselves now to be the country to be in, where everybody flourishing, everybody in Dubai is a millionaire. You can't get into Dubai unless you are millions. They use the resources and the wealth of the nation to create millionaires out of the people. And people want to argue that we benefiting in Trinidad and Tobago. We doing more proper roads. Yeah? Big leak. 250,000 people without water for 2 or 3 days. Wasaki have fixed that. And the Minister of Public Utilities coming on the news to tell people, well, with the few financial resources we have, anybody asks about your financial resources? Anybody asks you about that? You have a problem, fix it. You feel like you not pay taxes? Or you can't pay taxes? You feel like I'm going to waive your taxes? You tell me about the few financial resources you have. That's what the man say, you know. Before you talk about the water problem, I'm going to go fix it, you know. So, let me look at the reality. That is the reality of the situation in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? We have not properly developed. We have done nothing. Nothing. Let me tell you something. My father told me years ago, the government of Trinidad and Tobago could give every family $1 million and not be broken. Everybody got money. You understand what I'm telling you? Look at how Dubai have developed their people. Look at it. Just go research Dubai. Everybody in Dubai is a millionaire because they benefit from the wealth of the land. Everybody. What have they done? They want to put every creed and race find an equal place. Tell me what you have done to create equality amongst races and amongst ethnicities in Trinidad and Tobago. Tell me what policy you put in place. Tell me how people benefited from the wealth of the land. Tell me. They can't answer that. Because it's a select few. Friends, family, and favors that has get the billions and trillions of this country. I said it the other night in a live. Imagine every opposition party that's telling the government corrupt, the government thieving, but it's still our money in the treasury. That is how much money Trinidad and Tobago has. That is how much money Trinidad and Tobago generates. That they could thief for 56 years. And it still have money in the treasury. And everybody still fighting to get back in. Daniel ever saying, you ever see two thieves fight over empty purse? No. That statement is not a racist statement. And you see the use of that quote there, every creed and race find an equal place? Bullshit. Bullshit. I will not buy in to that sort of narrative from any political party. Because all of them just use that conveniently. So, back to the overall message. It is time that we open that discussion between African people and Indian people in Trinidad and Tobago. There has to be dialogue. In order for us to come together, there must be dialogue. And not every time an East Indian person talk about something that and put race in it means that they're a racist. Try and listen to the truth instead of hearing about the race. They might bring race into the conversation, but within bringing race into the conversation, are they speaking the truth? Now, the truth offends, and some of us don't like to hear it. There are people that will say things about Indian people too that Indian people wouldn't like. But we must reach to the point that we could trash it out through dialogue, constructive criticism of each other, each other's way of life or each other's way of thinking, or wherever. There must be dialogue. Otherwise, we're going to reach nowhere. And party have to come second to country. Country should always be a priority. What is the best thing for your country? Until we understand what that means, we spinning top in mud. We always going to be allowed to be divided. We are always going to allow ourselves to be divided. Let's face the reality. To the people who want to talk about that, it's not a serious issue. It is a serious issue because we're in 2018 and Africans still fighting Indian and Indians still fighting on African. Every single thing in society is based on race, the way we perceived. If you come out the road, it have people in this country that come out the road and they see a black man walking across the road. The first thought in their head, that is a PNM. You come out the road, you see an Indian. Your first thought, when you're thinking about politics and voting, is that is an Indian, so that is a UNC. That is truth, that is reality. I'm not saying everybody just thinks so. But come election day, that is how we just think. Any election, local government, anytime it have election, anytime politics at play, that is how we think. You see a black person, that is a PNM. You see an Indian person, that is a UNC. We label people based on their appearance and their look. I just sit down and do a morning talk show. And let me tell you something there. Sometimes I just be, not sometimes. Most of the time I be beating out the PNM. I know why I lashing the PNM. I could never vote PNM. Stefan Reis, I tell you all of that. Take that all you want. I could never vote PNM. You know why? I have seen the PNM fail to develop their own people. I have seen that. And anybody who could say they haven't seen that is a liar. You're not honest with yourself. Look at every PNM stronghold. And I don't want to go into that rhetoric because that is something everybody know and everybody know it, but they just wouldn't admit it. Look at it. Look at the Beatum. Look at Sealots. You understand? But they take a select few what they call community leaders, make them contractors, let them register business, passing millions of dollars, fueling crime. Because the government funds crime. The government funds the drug trade in Trinidad and Tobago. All they don't know that. When you pass in a $600,000 or $700,000 or $1 million contract to a community leader, right? To build box train and things in the community, where feel that money going? We feel the majority of that money going? Guns, ammunition, drugs. Is they bringing it in? And the return favor, in case you didn't know, is come election, make sure, mobilize these people and get them to the poll to vote for me. That's how the business is done. But while they're doing that, They're keeping the people down because that's where they want to keep them down and uneducated and dependent on handouts. And just a few of those people have the vision and the ambition to want something else. And those are the people that put on their head and educate themselves. So when people talking about, boy, I grew up hard and I grew up in the ghetto, bullshit. There are people who grew up in worse conditions and people who live in Trinidad and Tobago, and they overcome and they became billionaires, great business people, brilliant people. And it doesn't matter at this point if they were white, Chinese, Indian, or African, or mixed. It does not matter. The point is, they overcame. Good? And I want people to ask themselves this question. Every time somebody get gunned down, and they say gang related or whatever, a lot, and I'm saying this, I'm being honest, I'm being real. A lot of black people killing out black people. You understand? Blacks killing blacks on a regular basis in Trinidad and Tobago. How could you prosper and move forward if you're going to keep killing out each other? They say PNM is the African party. Look at your party now. And when you look at your political party now that's supposed to be African party, look and see who running your party. And I ain't talking about the 1% and the financiers. Look inside your party and see what's going on. While black men killing out black men, look at the PNM now. I'm going to call a few names. Dial Singh, Sinanan, Al Rawi. All you want me go on? All you get the picture? Rambarat. Who else? Who I ain't call? Who I ain't call? Who I ain't call? All you tell me now. Avinash Singh. He's a small fry, but we'll call him still. Because trying to give all the little idea is two East Indian party time in Trinidad. All you didn't see that coming yet? All you didn't see that yet? That's what it have. Just now it will be two Indian party. I was looking at the PNM. I was really looking at the PNM. And I was saying to myself in the PNM, internal election coming up. And when I hear Rowley going up unopposed, I say, but wait now. Unopposed. Franklin can. When I heard unopposed, Imbert, look, people starting to call name, nice man. I was like, that's no surprise to me that Keith Rowley is going up unopposed. Because who else they're going to put? There is no body belonging to the African race that is prominent enough in the PNM right now to take over the PNM from Keith Rowley. All you realize that? All you realize that? Stuart Young. All you realize that? All you go ahead, look at it. Who they go put? Camille Robinson Regis? Fitzgerald Hines? Who they gonna put? Anthony Garcia? Check all yourself. Check all yourself. So my question to the people who just vote on race, when the PNM has an Indian leader, who you go vote for? Who you go vote for? Gopi Schoon. Listen, I don't analyze things on a whim, you know. I just analyze everything, you know. There is no African person, nobody of African descent, no black person in the PNM that capable of running the PNM if Rowley was to step aside. All the Kazim Hossain is the next one. All the prominent people in the PNM are Indian. That is a little food for thought. All you think about that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And study and think. Somebody say, who they go put? Shampa Kujo? She could lead the PNM? Marlene McDonald go be next leader of the PNM? Who go and vote for Marlene? Put us in South alone? Who? Edmund Dillon? Next Indian in the party, Randall Mitchell. Oh God, all of them come into my head now. Well, Maxi Coffee go probably be next leader. Until he had to go for treatment in Washington, D.C. and he go be Prime Minister and had to put him to act. I don't know. I don't know. Think about it. Think about it. If you haven't thought about it as a PNM supporter, think about it now. If you haven't thought about it as somebody who votes on race, think about it now. When you look to the left and you see under the rising sun is an Indian over there, and you look to the right and under the balize on the platform behind the podium is an Indian leader, who you go vote for? Simple reality. So people, just to reiterate, describing Keith Rowley as an Oreo is witty, to say the least. Creative, but not racist. Not racist. And for the PNM to put out that statement, you know how much trouble the PNM in. If they have to take a little comment like that and try to blow it up into a big racist thing, to try and divide people again, so who they might be losing, they could pull back. You understand? Good boy, if Gary come for me, he come for me. Because people are disgruntled right now. So any little thing that they could put out there to rile up their base, they're gonna do it. They're desperate right now. Remember, as he beat on people that kick water on Fitzgerald lines, and look how quick they flood relief. But people in South and Central Trinidad who were affected by tropical storm Brett since last year, they're still waiting on theirs. They never get theirs. Think about that. You understand? So, I don't see that as racist, but at the same time, we cannot allow ourselves to be divided by these fools. You understand? Think before you jump out yourself and start to watch your African brother and sister, your Indian brother and sister differently. Think about if what was said was the truth. Think for yourself. And if it was the truth, then the truth can't be wrong. If somebody speaks the truth, regardless of whatever manner they use to get to that truth or to put the truth out there, everything is irrelevant. Only the truth matters. Because the truth is the truth and could never be wrong or the wrong way. So think about that. And do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to have those discussions, those sensitive discussions with people of different ethnicities. Find out about them. Try and understand the way they think. People talk about slavery when they're talking about African people. I want to ask them, were the Jews oppressed? The Jews. Throughout history, I don't think nobody was oppressed more than the Jews. Shit. Hitler tried to wipe out the Jews completely. Hitler tried to take them off the face of the earth completely. Good. But what did the Jews do? They didn't let that stop them from being successful. They overcame. They overcame. And where are they today? They own the most powerful country in the world, which is America. It's the Jews own America. The Jews run things in America. You understand? They overcame and became successful to the point that they own the most powerful country in the world. People talk about America as a white man country. It's the Jews run America. Go and see all who have money. Who are the most money in America? The Jews. And that's the same thing the Syrians did in Trinidad. They came here, and while everybody was sleeping, they were on business. They see 20 years down the road that we could own this, we could own that, if we do this and we do that. And they walk. Some of them walk their ass off, honestly. And they build empires, and we want to hate on them for that. No. Don't hate because you were sleeping. Don't hate them because you were sleeping. Hate yourself because you were sleeping. Your eyes should have been open, and you should have been progressive and ambitious. Anyway, after bus out, I don't know what's going on in the cricket, but I want to find out. When I leave Trinidad, was looking like they had Guyana under grips, but we will find out what's going on with that. And that's our next thing too, you know. And I want to leave all with this tonight on the cricket. Trinidad and Tobago continues to be the jackass nation of the world. I want to ask all a question, right? In any tournament, in any sport, anywhere in the world, right? When you have a major tournament where your final is held, your final is held at the venue that could hold the most amount of people. And usually the venue that could hold the most amount of people is like your national stadium or whatever the case is. That is your main venue in your whole country. One stadium always holds more than every other stadium. And the reason why you put your final there is because you want to capitalize on the final and sell the most amount of tickets possible, right? Good. What do we do in Trinidad and Tobago with the CPL? We play all the preliminary matches at our biggest and best venue. And then for a semi-final and a final, we take it and carry it to a smaller venue, which in no way could compete with the Queen's Park Oval. Now, if that ain't jackass logic to the highest order, I don't know what is. Good night.